What if the most memorable evening of your life arrived just before it ended? What if the lights went out and the applause persisted? Stay tuned until the very end, as I will provide a heartfelt homage to each individual and a clear list that you can save. Today, we are revealing the real human stories of Oscar success that came with devastating timing. We will go into more detail on the following people: Heath Ledger's terrifying portrayal of the Joker, Peter Finch's brilliant performance in Network, Audrey Hepburn's recognition for her work with children, Edward G. Robinson's lifetime on-screen salute, Alice Brady's wild Oscars mystery, Chadwick Boseman, who didn't win that night but left a final storm of power, and Henry Fonda, the quiet giant who won and then vanished. Keep watching to the very end, as the pattern throughout their lives conveys a deeper message about fate, art, and how we remember the individuals who touched us. At 60, Peter Finch was blazing. After working for many years, traveling back and forth between London and Sydney, he reached a turning point in his career that made him a legend. "I'm as mad as hell and I'm not going to take this anymore," he said on live television while playing Howard Beale in Network. All throughout the planet, that line reverberated. Then something awful happened in life. A day after making a dazzling late-night appearance, he suffered a heart attack while promoting another project. Before he could witness the development of that performance, he passed away. His name was called by everyone in the room when the Best Actor envelope was opened a few weeks later. The gratitude he had left behind was acknowledged and expressed by his spouse. He was the first performer to get an Oscar after passing away. It's a difficult statement to make. It is also a fantastic indicator of the continued brilliance of his work. He made it to the peak, which bears his name. At just 28 years old, Heath Ledger had already achieved great heights. He had shattered our hearts in a modest love tale, enchanted us in a school romance, and then transformed into pandemonium as the Joker in The Dark Knight. He shut himself in order to develop that chuckle, that look, and that voice. You forget it's a movie when you watch him. You simultaneously experience agony, peril, and an odd kind of depressing humor. However, he was lost due to an unintentional combination of medications before the movie was released. The loss was like a tidal wave. His name appeared on the Best Supporting Actor statue a year later. His sister and parents supported him and pledged that Matilda, his daughter, would eventually receive the medal. Grief and happiness are difficult to manage at the same time. It was that night. Every time someone hits play, his art comes to life. We sense the cost of the Joker's laughter. Audrey Hepburn appeared to be composed of light. She developed grace in My Fair Lady, danced through Funny Face, glittered in Roman Holiday, and created an enduring atmosphere in Breakfast at Tiffany's. Her finest and final part, however, did not take place on a set. As a kid advocate, she brought food, medication, and hope to villages, clinics, and camps. She spoke clearly and with quiet firmness. The Academy chose to present its highest humanitarian award in recognition of such effort. She never stepped on that podium to accept her death from cancer at the age of 63, which occurred 8 days after the vote. Her tribute was introduced with words of love and respect by a close friend 2 months later. The world had lost beauty, but it had also lost someone who prioritized service above celebrity and kindness over comfort, as that moment revealed to us all. Both her films and the memories of a woman who taught us what true class is all about continue to shine. The camera adored Edward G. Robinson's face. In the same scene, he could appear as soft as a parent and as harsh as granite. Almost the course of several decades, he contributed to almost 100 films as a mobster with a bark that shook the room. Off-screen, he spoke out throughout the conflict, protected his name when the wind turned bad, and stood up early against fear and hatred. The Academy decided to celebrate his entire life in movies and as a citizen in 1973. Cancer progressed more quickly than the calendar. A few weeks prior to the event, he passed away. This was the appropriate honor at the right moment in a man's life, and when his wife approached the stage and read the words he had penned, they broke hearts. The way people still talk about him, great actor, wonderful example, amazing courage, lives on as a testament to the standing ovation he missed. The tale of Alice Brady sounds like a standalone film. Due to a fractured ankle, she was unable to attend the Best Supporting Actress ceremony for In Old Chicago. A man approached, took the statue for her, and disappeared. Later on, people questioned, who was that? Nobody was aware. The prize has vanished. A replacement was sent by the Academy, but time was not on their side. At the age of 46, she passed away from cancer 2 years later. She continued to bring warmth and strength to her parts as the silent period came to an end. Even the replacement statue had an odd journey at an auction decades later, and her original statue never returned. The true prize, however, is what viewers remember about her: her keen eyes, strong demeanor, and ability to add a touch that gives a scene a genuine feel. We have leaders, warriors, and kings thanks to Chadwick Boseman. He had the gait of a man who knew himself. He portrays Levi in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, a trumpet player with a storm in his chest and a quick smile. You can sense the hunger in his eyes, the sorrow behind his jokes, and the fire in his words. While he was filming, the world was unaware that he was struggling for his life. The world was shocked when he passed away at the age of 43. Many believed his name would be announced for Best Actor on the next Oscar night. The breath in the room was held. They read another name. The work he left behind cannot be altered by a trophy. It's a master lesson, that last performance. Nothing was left on the table by him. That evening, he did not receive the gold. A heartfelt truth is what he left behind, something more difficult and enduring. A pillar was Henry Fonda. He portrayed good men, imperfect folks, and silent men who expressed strong emotions with few words. A genuine competitive victory was still in the works, but the Academy had honored him with a special Oscar in his later years. On Golden Pond followed. A lifetime of love, terror, and pride passed across his face as he sat in that little boat and gazed out at the lake. He starred with another giant, Katharine Hepburn, and his real daughter, Jane. Finally, when his body was too weak for the stage, he received the honor. Jane agreed on his behalf. He passed away peacefully a few months later. With father and daughter on TV and a farewell nod from the community he had so successfully served, it felt like a cycle coming to an end. His victory was a thank you from all of us, not just a trophy. Let's now compile these lives into a concise list so you can recall each one with the most important details. With Network, Peter Finch rose to prominence. Shortly after that brilliant late-night stop, he passed away. His wife then shared his thoughts with the world. Heath Ledger created a legendary Joker, died prior to the debut, and was honored the next year. His family promised his child the statue. On the Oscar stage, friends reminisced about Audrey Hepburn, who dedicated her final moments to helping underprivileged children. She passed away a few days after the vote to honor her efforts. Edward G. Robinson left behind words that still stick in the throat, earned a lifetime salute, and passed away before he could hear the room cheering. After winning, Alice Brady's award was accepted by an unidentified guy who took it, got a replacement, and departed too quickly. Despite not winning that evening, Chadwick Boseman's last performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is a testament to his skill and bravery. Too weak to attend, Henry Fonda eventually won 4 on Golden Pond. With the affection of his family and the gratitude of his peers, he passed away shortly after. What connects them? Time. The timing of life, not the timing of a joke. Often, the night that culminates years of labor is the one we will never forget. The award becomes something else on the last night. It turns into a bottle-sized message from the artist to us and back. We saw you, we say. You were heard. You were important. Thank you, they say. It was worthwhile. Additionally, there is another link that is even more significant. These artists all used their power carefully. Finch forced us to stare into a crazy world via a mirror. Ledger demonstrated how a villain is more than just paint and scars. He is suffering without a place to call home. Like a blanket to a chilly kid, Hepburn gave away her fame. When it was dangerous, Robinson got up, and when it was difficult, he continued to work. From silent frames to sound stages, Brady showed tenacity and persevered despite being injured. Boseman gracefully carried the dignity of an entire people before putting everything he had left into a last set. Fonda showed us that a lingering glance may last a lifetime and that silence can be more powerful than loudness. Perhaps you think that fate exists. Perhaps you believe that this is simply a case of poor timing. In any case, this is what we can do with these stories at the moment. We can view their work again with new eyes. We can show compassion to those who have burdens that we are blind to. Instead than just clapping and moving on, We should use awards as an opportunity to express gratitude. And by discussing their work, learning from their lives, and choosing grace over rumors, we may preserve their names in the manner that they would have preferred. Thank you if you stayed with me until now. I vowed to give each name a brief tribute before we closed. Go to a window tonight and say one sincere thing you've been holding back for Peter Finch. For Heath Ledger, write a note to someone you care about and extend forgiveness for a minor transgression. Give to a children's cause, even if it's just the cost of a cup of coffee, according to Audrey Hepburn. Read a page of bravery under adversity and give it to a friend in honor of Edward G. Robinson. Write a heartfelt note to an actor or artist who is still awaiting their break for Alice Brady. For Chadwick Boseman, take a deep breath, stand up, and give your all to one challenging endeavor. Call a parent or a youngster and say the quiet thing aloud for Henry Fonda. Now let me know in the comments which story most resonated with you and which movie you plan to see again. To help more people discover and remember these lives, please like this video. To ensure you don't miss the next in-depth exploration of the times when life and film intersect in profound ways, subscribe and click the bell. I appreciate you staying to the very end. May these artists' creations continue to shine in your home, and may their fortitude enable you to tell your own tale.